Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Today, we're going to go through our live rates, and then we're going to do a deep dive into manufactured homes. So, always a great topic here to talk about. Interesting to see what the rates will be like today. I'm sure they're probably going to change at some point today as well. So, it'll be interesting to pull these up here today. We'll go ahead and wait just a minute here to go live on all the different platforms. You can go ahead and drop a comment there in the meantime in the chat. We got the chat up there on the screen. Appreciate everybody tuning in nice and early. So it looks like we're live on all the different platforms. We'll go ahead and get it started. What we'll do is we'll take the chat off the screen for now. We'll keep dropping comments there in the chat. Drop any questions you have in the chat too about manufactured homes as we go through our presentation here a little bit later. So welcome, everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our president, Nick Hershey, and our sales manager, Jose Gonzalez. We are a lender that specializes in non-QM loans. And what we do every morning on the show at 11 a.m. Eastern is go through our live rates, and then we do a deep dive into a different loan type. And today's loan type is going to be manufactured home loans. So something that is very important to know, and something that there's a lot of confusion about sometimes. So Jose is going to clear that all up for us here shortly. But before we do that, we'll pull up our live rates. So as I said, interesting to see what's going to be happening, not just now, but throughout the day. So Nick, let's go ahead and pull up the rates and see what it's looking like.
Yes, today will be a good day. It is June 12th. We did have some good news for rates. Somewhat bad news for the economy is good news for rates sometimes. So bad news is good news sometimes. But we have seen some action here. I'm over here reloading the rates as we speak, just to make sure I pick up any last minute changes. But due to the news, we do have some reduction in rates overall as the markets are dropping a little bit. And as Kyle mentioned, we should have some more adjustments later today. So what we will do is show all of the different programs we have and allow us to compare the APR across the different programs for today. This will show us the general rates and terms for today. It is June 12th, just after 11 a.m. So most of our programs have new rates, and they'll issue new rates as we go. We will set up a basic scenario for a standard single family home, not a manufactured home or anything fancy. So a standard home, $500,000 purchase price, $400,000 loan amount, corresponds to 80% loan to value, 20% down payment. We'll set all the demos to an estimated 760 credit score, and we'll set them all to an estimated 40% debt to income ratio. So with all those basic settings, that will allow us to compare across the programs. If you'd like a full breakdown and itemized loan estimate that itemizes all the fees that go into the APR, please get with our team. We have over 300 loan officers. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And we'll look at the rates for today. So typically the first option for most borrowers for a primary home is always going to be a conventional option. So 30-year fixed conventional, pretty standard option most people are used to. Rates coming today 6.49, final APR 6.802, definitely dropping from yesterday. And hopefully we see some more downward momentum today, which is always welcome. If for any reason our customer doesn't qualify for conventional, we typically want to quote an FHA option. So next up, 30-year fixed FHA. FHA allows more leniency on credit issues as well as a higher debt to income ratio, but does require mortgage insurance. Rates today for FHA come in as low as 5.625, final APR 6.581 with the upfront and yearly mortgage insurance that is required. So if our customer qualifies for both options, FHA could be a touch cheaper. So if they want to have MI, it is sometimes a good option. And our customer that needs to use it, definitely a great option. Rates have dropped today significantly. And you'll see they're very comparable to conventional, and definitely a great option for our borrowers that need it. Now, next up is our VA option. So 30-year fixed standard VA purchase here for our eligible veterans and active service members. If you are eligible, these programs are amazing. Dropped quite a bit. Rates today come in at 5.75. Final APR just a touch over 6.055. So notice VA smokes FHA and conventional by quite a bit. Definitely a great benefit for our eligible vets and active service members. Please take advantage if you are eligible. It's an amazing program. And the final option for our agency government program is going to be USDA. Remember, USDA is only eligible for properties that are in USDA areas, typically the rural areas of the country. And if your borrower is eligible and the property is eligible, this is a great option. So today, USDA comes in at 5.375, final APR 6.101 with all the fees. So our customers looking in those rural areas are going to probably be comparing this to an FHA. So notice USDA beats FHA by quite a bit in this example, as well as beats conventional primary in this example. So USDA, great option for properties and borrowers that are eligible and looking in those areas. Now, moving on, most other banks or lenders, that's all they have is those 4 standard agency government options. And if our customer doesn't qualify, they would have to deny them. But we have over 5,000 programs beyond the standard here. So first up is our 30-year fixed non-QM alt doc for a primary home. So if our borrower doesn't qualify for a conventional or any of these other programs, many other banks or lenders will have to deny them, but we have alt doc options and thousands of them. So this option we're looking at today will probably be a bank statement or similar, typically the lowest cost option. But as Jose presented the last couple weeks, we have 1099, P&L, asset related, all kinds of different variations of non-QM. So hundreds of programs, maybe even thousands here just in this one category. Rates as low as 7.125 today. Final APR 7.447. So very close to conventional. And usually non-QM takes a day or so to update. So I expect the non-QM will be smoking tomorrow. So we'll be excited for tomorrow's show. And moving on to investors, investment properties. So to use alt docs, again, probably a bank statement option here we're looking at for an investment property, rates as low as 7.5. Final APR comes in at 7.833. So let's compare that to our other options for investments. So the government programs, USDA, VA, FHA do not work for investments, but we do have conventional options. So 30-year fixed conventional for an investment property today comes in at 7.25. Final APR 7.597. So notice, because today the rates did drop quite a bit, conventional is beating non-QM. But again, tomorrow I expect, or the next day, non-QMs to come down more in line. It's usually about the same. And moving on to our favorite option. So most of our investors out there and most of our most popular loan products are DSCR loans. So DSCR stands for debt service coverage ratio, no income, no employment used. Simply use the estimated rents to determine a DSCR value. If the estimated rents can cover the expenses, aka the property cash flows, that's a DSCR ratio of 1 or higher. We used 1.5 for the demo here so we could see all the programs that pop up. And the rates are adjusting on DSCR pretty quickly here. It looks like this is much better than yesterday, but I expect them to continue to drop today as non-QM takes a little bit of time to adjust. First option here is our DSCR with a 3-year prepay. Rates come in today as low as 7%. Final APR 7.342, so still smoking conventional. For our DSCR option, I would say 100% of investors would prefer a DSCR to conventional, even when it's more expensive. When it's less expensive, it's a no-brainer. Now we can add a 5-year prepay as well to some of these options, not all of them, but the ones that do allow it, the rates get even better. Today, 6.75 for a 5-year prepayment DSCR. Final APR comes in just a touch over 7.059, which blows conventional out of the water still. And I expect more adjustments later on DSCR and the rest of the non-QM. Final DSCR option here is with no prepayment penalty. So some investors don't want a prepayment penalty. That's fine. The rates are a little bit higher. Coming in today at 7.625, final APR 7.973. So notice that's a touch higher than conventional in this case. So I definitely recommend our investors add a prepayment penalty to sweeten the deal. But even at this comparison, most investors would still prefer a DSCR, no income, no employment, much easier, quicker, faster loan. You can do 1, 2, 5, 10 of these loans at a time. And last couple options here for some cool non-QM options, definitely very popular these days, are second mortgages. So a lot of both primary and investors have a first mortgage that is definitely a reasonable rate, with rates being very low over the last few years, and they don't want to touch the first mortgage to get cash out. No problem. We can do a fixed second mortgage. So 30-year fixed second mortgage for a primary home today comes in at 8.75 rate. Final APR 9.204. So that would allow our homeowners to keep their first mortgage, not touch it, and get some cash out still at a reasonable rate. The blended rate would be what you would be looking at between those two rather than refinancing the first. And same thing with our investors. 30-year fixed second mortgage for investors, again, may have a low rate first mortgage they don't want to touch but need some cash out. No problem. Rates as low as 9.875. Final APR 10.136. And both of these options are non-QM, so they do allow alt docs such as bank statement, which is very cool. So let me change my screen today. And get into the topic. So today's topic is going to be on manufactured homes. When we do the live demos, we can't do different property types, right? We always do a basic property type. When we get into specialty property types like manufactured homes, yesterday was on condo hotels, right? All kinds of different little tricks. So a little harder to do that in general. So that's why we love to have Jose here break down our specific options that are going to be eligible for manufactured homes, which is definitely a subset of loans, right? We got to make sure we have some extra requirements. I'm sure Jose will mention, as well as some specific programs that work and some programs that don't work, right? So Jose will present the options that we have today.
Good morning.
You frozen? You're good.
All right. No, I just didn't hear anything for a minute there. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Daily Mortgage Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. First, let's define a manufactured home, right? A manufactured home is not a mobile home. Now, what happens sometimes is we're actually dealing with a manufactured home, but then the MLO or the borrower may inquire and say, we have a mobile home. The borrower inquiring to us or the MLO inquiring to their team lead about a mobile home that needs financing. That's a common misuse of the term, because a mobile home is not a manufactured home. A mobile home is a manufactured home without land, right? It's sitting in a mobile home park. It pays monthly lot rent. There's no affidavit of a fixture that confirms when the mobile home transitioned to a manufactured home, which is when it was permanently affixed to the land and now has a folio number and is attached to real property. So that's the main component. A manufactured home is also not a modular home. A modular home is going to qualify the same way as a regular site built home, right? Because it is built on the site. It just comes in a bunch of different pieces, but it is still considered like a site built home. So you don't have any type of restrictions that you may have for a manufactured home. So those are two common misconceptions. People mistake modular homes as manufactured home, which now you're leaving money on the table, because in some cases a manufactured home has adjustments that a site-built home does not. So let's get right into it now that we've established what is a manufactured home. Now, manufactured homes are a hot segment of the market because they tend to be a little lower in price. And as we know, there's an affordability issue with properties right now due to the low inventory. So manufactured homes are definitely a way to alleviate that. So our first option here is for a manufactured home using the conventional manufactured home advantage program. This program is meant for newer manufactured homes, 1991 and newer year built. So it's going to give better pricing. So here we are looking at 7.124 being our lowest cost option at 0.375. And you can buy that down to 6.375% at a cost of 2.5 points. If this was a regular non-manufactured home advantage loan, the cost would be at least 1 point higher. So this is our manufactured home advantage using the home ready option. That's one of the conventional affordable loan options. Please also note that if the property is in a low to moderate income census tract or in a minority census tract, the income limitations based on the area median income having to be 80% or less, those restrictions are removed. No income restrictions in that case. This program does offer reduced MI, reduced rates, and as you can see, it also allows purchasing a manufactured home with only 3% down, as opposed to the non-home ready option, which requires a minimum 5% down. And now you will note here that 7.124 has a little bit of a lender credit, 0.1, and you can buy that down to 6.375. And let's compare that to the Non-home ready option we saw 7.124, same rate, has a cost of 0.375, so there's roughly a half a point difference between the manufactured home advantage product and the home ready manufactured home advantage purchase. 6.375 is very good option there with a cost of 2 points, lowest cost option. Now our FHA loan, I will note that luckily FHA does not have a loan level price adjustment when the subject property is a manufactured home. Hence, you're going to get the same rates on FHA, whether it's manufactured home or whether it's a single family site built home. And here you're looking at 6.625, lowest cost option at a cost of 0.25 points. And you can buy that down to 5.75% at a cost of 2.25 points. This is for our FHA purchase, 3.5% down payment. Now, great news is that USDA also does not have any loan level price adjustments for manufactured homes. No LTV adjustments either, still 100% financing. So this is a really good combination because the prevalence of manufactured homes seems to be a little bit higher in areas that are more spread out. So USDA combined with manufactured home, great recipe. 6.5% is our lowest cost option with a lender credit. And you can buy that down all the way to 5.5% at a cost of 2.25 points. Haven't seen that in a bit. And now another 100% LTV option, the manufactured home VA purchase. So here, 7.25% is our lowest cost option, almost at par. And you can buy that down all the way to 5.875% at a cost of 2.574 points for a VA 100% LTV purchase. And now for our last two options, I saved the best for last. Non-QM has manufactured home options, but I'm going to cut right to the chase here, and I'm going to show you the most preferred option is the DSCR manufactured home purchase. Yes, at the mortgage calculator, we can originate and fund the DSCR manufactured home purchase. 70% is the maximum LTV for this option. And you are looking at 8.875 being our lowest cost option, almost at par. And a nice deep rate sheet here. You can buy that down all the way to 7.125. Wow, at a cost of 3.4 points for our manufactured home purchase using DSCR at a 70% LTV, so 30% down payment. And our last option is our manufactured home DSCR cash out, also at a 70% LTV. So there is a little bit of an adjustment for the fact that it is cash out, but still same 70% LTV. Lowest cost option, 9.375, almost at par. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.375 at a cost of 3.15 points for our DSCR manufactured home cash out special. So look to the mortgage calculator for your manufactured home loans, including your DSCR purchase and cash out options.
All right, thank you, Jose. Looks like we do got a couple questions here today, so we'll get into the questions. So I'll just pull them up on the screen here. First question is the origination fee included in the rate? So you were looking at our lender paid rates there. So yes, our compensation is already in those rates that you were seeing. All right. The next question, is there a loan program available for purchasing a manufactured home as a primary residence located in a leased land park community?
No, because unfortunately, that would not be a manufactured home. That was in the pure definition. Manufactured home needs to be permanently affixed to the land that it sits on. An affidavit of a fixture has to be filed with the county. That's going to be part of the title work. That's going to be a recommendation to be able to close. So again, because that is not a manufactured home, because it doesn't have land, we would not have any residential real estate financing option for that. That's basically that would be what they call a chattel loan, same as if you're financing a car, something like that. So there may be options out there, but none that are going to be residential real estate loans like the type that we would be originating.
It's not real estate if there's no land, right? It's just something sitting on someone else's land.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I don't see any other questions, so I guess let's go ahead and wrap it up then. Remember, we do this at 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday where we go through the live rates and then do a deep dive into a different topic. Make sure to tune in this week. It's going to be an interesting day today and tomorrow. So appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern.